Guys. Help you guys out with some stuff. Greetings from my chocolate. What's up? What's up? Got a nice video today. Tell me, does this sound a little off to you guys? Does the microphone sound a little off? Jada Artist, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? So yeah, we're gonna go over little tutorials today. Tips and tricks, five tips and tricks that help me improve some of my artwork here. Just look at what people on here. And we're gonna do it with this little girl here. And I also have some of my old work I want to show you guys too. My progress, make perfect, or I was just practicing. Just by charcoal that. Losing my mind here. All right. All right. So I had actually initially recorded a little video, and that's where I got this much from. But then I ran out of storage, so it's too much. So I just thought I'd get on here, guys, and just show you guys how to do this stuff. All right. So breaking things down to shapes. Actually, we're gonna just start over. Yeah, we're just gonna start over. Email you back. I have to email you back to get the drawing exchange emails. Definitely. All right, so I'm going to tell you guys some tips and tricks on how to draw portraits. All right, first thing I want to talk about is breaking things down to shapes. Forget the 4D, forget the 3D. Look at things like shapes, not 3D shapes, just regular 2D shapes. You can even count lines as this, right? So, starting off with the hair, with the top of the hair, the peak of the hair, where the hair is the highest, right? It's right here. Just draw it anywhere. Just like that. All right. Now, where does the hairline start? Come down. That's the second line, the hairline. Like right here. That's the hairline. That's the gap between the top of the hair and the hairline, right? Next, from here, actually, we're gonna do the whole head. This is one line. This is another line, like right up here. All right. Go this way, then come straight down right here. You need to gauge it with your eyes. So if you can gauge it with your eyes, then you're in the door. You need to gauge it with your eyes. Takes time to practice that, but it helps a lot. Line. Then we come down, it's not like this. All right. and then down. And just curve it. All right. So we have the top of the hair, top, and it comes down like this a little bit. Comes in, out, comes this way. Just like that. Comes back. Kind of fights itself to come in. Boom, like that. That's it. Don't even stress yourself out over it too much. Thank you. Thank you guys. So yeah, it's showing you guys how to do this like so easy, right? So easy. And this is just practice. This is just practice. That's all it is. All right. You're training your eyes to see. Train your eyes to see. Yeah, that's about right there. So all this is hair. This is hair, right? You could probably go a little bit higher, but I'm satisfied with that. Again, people, when you starting off with portraits and you're practicing, use some Vine charcoal. It's the best. It's the easiest medium to erase with. You know, it's really it's very forgivable. So there's always a line in between a profile picture, right? Profile pictures. There's always a line straight down the middle. This is a perfect picture right here. I'm gonna find that center line. And I'm gonna come all the way down between the eyes, between the nose, between the lips, between the chin. Find that middle point. Just calm down. Just like that. That's it. If it's not perfect, draw another one. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right. That line comes straight down. This splits the face in half. After that, we're gonna look for the eyebrow line. Right. The eyebrow line starts about. Look at your hairline. Come down. And that's where your hairline would be. I mean, your eyebrow line would be. Right there. That's where the eyebrows would be. That's the point of the eyebrows. Yes, they're the slant, but that's the point of the eyebrows. All right. Let's make sure this is straight. It's kind of crooked. So I'm just gonna like that. Boom. It's perfect. So take your center line. Let me show you guys something. Look at this. These portraits, they don't have to be this hard as people make them to be. Right? Check this out. You have your center line right down the middle. Oops, that's a bad line. Even that's not even center. There we go. Center line right down the middle. And look at her tear ducts. These are the tear ducts right here. Draw lines right between those. 1, 2. Those are all even lines. Look at the space between them. Even. So do that same thing on your paper. All right? This is breaking down proportions to its easiest form. Do the same thing that you see on your screen. Oh, my live just crashed, guys. I don't know what just happened. Sounds like flip-flops. Sandals. Killer artwork. Thank you guys. Thank you. Do you only draw dead people? That's funny. So get your center lines down. All the way down. All right. So right below this eyebrow line, we have the eye, the tear ducts. Tear ducts start about right here, and it's almost right around. It's right around where her hair, where her sideburns are. About right there. Right. It's the easiest way to draw portraits. Just subscribe. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's the easiest way to draw portraits, guys. I'm showing you guys easy ways. Well, this is a way to get you into thinking of how to approach a portrait, and then after that, you can start adding in other things. So we have the eye line. This is the nose line about right here. If that isn't enough to help you out, measure everything with your hand. The uh, uh, uh. So hairline to eyebrows the same. Eyebrow to tear duct is about the same. Tear duct to the base of the nose is the same. The base of the nose to the bottom of the lip is the same. And the bottom of the lip is a little bit shorter, but it's about the same for the bottom lip to the chin. Right? So if that's not enough to help you out, she's a kid, so you want to make sure you show that this stuff is way shorter. Right? We have all these planes coming down. It's the base of the nose. This is going to be the top of the lip. Top of the lip. This is going to be the black, the shadow within her mouth. This is going to be the bottom lip. This is going to be the chin down here, actually. Boom. Just like that. All right. Like that. Now we can just start connecting things. Now the chin comes up. You can draw the angles of the chin if you want to. You don't need to. But if it helps get everything out, so be it. There's some shadow on this side, so it's kind of hard to see where the angles are. But we know it just connects. Then it comes outward like this, and it curves right up in here. Don't be afraid to use your charcoal. And it comes out that way. It comes out with a slant. I'm looking at lines right now, that's all. You can fix all this stuff up later. Get you a base to start off with. That's why we're working with line charcoal, because you can easily erase it. All right. All right. So next, after you have all of these proportions and lines now, you're gonna put them into play. Right? So these was the tear duct. Let's start with the eyebrows first. Right? Eyebrows, this is scribble them in, scribble, scribble. Follow it with your hand, follow it. Boom. That's one eyebrow. One eyebrow. You can make it dark if you want to. Scribble it in there. The other eyebrow starts. This is the middle line. The other eyebrow starts a little bit inwards, but it's right here. Comes down. It goes back out. It gets thick. Then it thins out. Trace with your eyes. Trace with your eyes. Damn, he is Right? So just like that, boom, down, just like that. These are just the eyebrows. Don't even take it too serious. Just put it in there. If you trust your process, you don't have anything else to worry about. You gotta trust it though. If you don't trust your process, then you won't create anything. And I talk about that all the time in my other lives. Trust your process. Let me show you guys something. I did a lot of portrait studies before I even got to this point, right? This was, I don't know how long ago this was. This was over a year ago, actually. This has been over a year ago. No contrast, no depth. The facial features are just sitting on the face. It's nothing, there's no life to it. Other studies, this was self-portrait with charcoal. Again, no contrast. Uh, right? And then skip to my latest ones, the Basquiat. And to get to that point, these are all the tips that I've done just in repetition. All right. So next, let's come down and work on the eyes. All right. Let's draw the highest point of the eye from the bottom of the eyebrow to the top of the eye. It's about right here. Look at the gaps. That's all. Down, oval in, come all the way over to that tear duct point that we drew. That over. All right. Bye for now. So I gotta go. Thank you so much for the subscription. I really appreciate it. All right, next, draw the next eye. All right, let's draw a little shadow up in here too. One. Next. This next eye. They're both at the same point. All right. This is actually the eye line, but looks like it turns out to be the bottom of the eye line. Let's look at the top of the eye. Draw the base or the top of it down. Look at it as angles. Draw some hard lines in there. It doesn't need to be perfect. These are all studies. When you're doing studies, you don't need to try to be perfect. No, just draw it. Don't try to be perfect, because then you won't accept it when it comes to the outcome of it. Don't try to be perfect. Perfection doesn't exist, guys. So don't try to be perfect with this stuff. Accept your studies. Accept all that stuff. Accept the flaws. Only then will you be able to see progression in your art once you accept it and trust it too. Trust it. Boom, just like that. Now it looks like everything is starting to fall in place, portion wise. Look Look at this. I'm gonna take this. I'm just gonna smear it around just like that. All like that. We still have our lines there, our guidelines. But now I'm just making some skin tone. That's all. Don't make it perfect. Just scribble it in there. How long have you been drawing? I've been drawing my whole life. On and off. On and off though. Okay. So now we're gonna see, look at this. So we still have those three lines in there, right? Usually the tear ducts will line up with the end of the nostrils, right? For this picture, it's not the case. It comes out just a little bit right there. This one doesn't. This one lines up completely. And this is how you achieve likeness. By these little things make the biggest difference. So come out just a little bit of that line, and that's how you know where your nose is or how far it comes out. Eventually, you'll be able to look at these pictures and not need to draw lines on them. And that's the whole goal, is to train your eyes to see these things. So we still have this line here. I'm gonna come out just a little bit, and that is where the nostril starts. That's where it is. I see she has some lines up in here in the eye. Gonna come down, and it loops. Her nose makes it oval, or her nose makes a bridge. Well, our noses is a triangle, right? It's a triangle. But check this out. Hers is a complete bridge. Complete bridge. And you could even flatten that out right there. And after that, we have one circle, three circles. 1, 2, 3. So what do you need to draw? A bridge with 3 circles in it. That's it. A bridge with 3 circles. 2 little ones and 1 big one for the tip of the nose. It's the easiest way to do these things. Draw the bridge. Comes flat. Boom, just like that. Like a pig nose, kind of, right? Just like that. I'm gonna draw the big circle right here. 2 little circles here. Right? And then draw those little nostrils in there. Just like that. Then you can kind of erase that out. Right? That's all. It's that simple. Don't worry about how dark the picture, when you're drawing it, how dark it is. It's a little richer, yes. Don't worry about how dark the picture is. You're using charcoal. It's gonna be dark in the beginning. You're building structure right now. So don't worry about how, oh, the nose is lighter than that. It doesn't matter. It's much lighter than that. Just like that. And just leave it. We'll take out that bottom line, actually. All right, we're gonna leave it just like that. I'm gonna move down to the this train just came by here. So she has this cliff right here. You get the name of it, but it's there. Just gonna draw a U. I'm gonna draw a big U, right? The letter U. Hope you guys can see this even good enough. Draw a U. Now I'm gonna draw the lips. Now with the lips, you can look at this like shapes too, right? Break it down to shapes. Don't try to draw the lips for what they are. Break them down to shapes. I'm gonna take off these 3 lines. We don't need them no more. The lips, you can see it as 1, 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Or you can look at them as big O's if you want to. Lines. Break it down to lines. If that helps. I think I was doing that off screen this whole time. Yeah. Break it down to lines. Don't look at curves. Curves will throw you off. You know, give off a 3D sense. Look at lines. Look at it flat. Make it look flat first. Then you can start throwing in shadows. So, what lines do you see? I see 1 going down this way. Practice it with your hand before you draw it, if that helps. Draw it out with your hand. It's coming this way. It's going this way. That's how that line is doing it. Not this way. Not that way. But this way. Maybe a little bit more curved. Like that. That's exactly what that line is doing. Just like that. And have this straight. Then the other one, it has a curve to it, but we're not going to draw that curve, but it's there. So it's going like this, that, and then it's curving down. But instead of doing that curve, you're going to draw 2 extra lines. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how you get that curve in there. 4. This line is going to curve it out for you. There's no need to curve it. Because then look. Curve is there. The curve is still there, even when you put lines in it. Right? A circle right? If you curve it, right? Circle with straight lines. All you have to do is just find those find the curve, and then draw lines around it. It's easier to draw like in art style. It's just really nice. Actually, it's not. It's not. Um, color people actually have a lot more tones to work with. So I actually have to do a lot of different play with my grays versus white. Sometimes I can eliminate so many different tones and let the paper speak for itself since the paper I'm using is white. It may not be the exact skin tone of the person I'm working with, but it definitely helps out to just use the paper behind it. Okay, so like I said, we don't need to curve this intentionally. You can just draw lines. Draw lines. Lines are gonna be your best friend. Makes sense. Yeah. Line's gonna be your best friend. Alright. This lip comes out more like this. Comes out like this. This. That. Alright. Next. How thick is that lip? Gesture it out. Figure it out. Next. Draw that gap, the black gap that's in there. Right? She has teeth in there, but we can do that. We can worry about that later. Ask yourself how thick is that gap between her lips. Measure with your eyes. Right? Next. From this part of the lip, the bottom lip is coming down at this type of angle, right? So like this. This. Right? Like that. Bottom lip is flat. I mean, the bottom portion is curved, but we're going to flatten it because anything, we curve anything with our lines as long as we have the lines right. See, this isn't curved, but it makes it easier to curve it, right? If you follow it, you can smoothen out the edges. That's what you're going to be doing. That's what we're doing. So draw that flat line. Flat. It may not look flat on the picture, but draw it. It's gonna help you in the end. This part of the lip is coming in at this angle. Well, like this. So it's coming in at like this. Just like that. Alright, next. We have a really strong base right now, and this is good. This is where the confidence starts to come in, that you start to feel good because you can see what you're drawing. Alright. Now let's fix this eye up over here. I kind of have it a little not that nice. Okay. Now I'm gonna draw the pupils of the eyes. Right. Instead of looking at the pupil itself, look at how much white is not being occupied in her eyes. Right. And that's how much white you want to leave. So you draw the circle, but don't try to draw it too much. And don't draw a circle, scribble it in. Take your time with this, no rush. You so TV celebrities yet? No. Got the eyes in there. And when we draw the creases and stuff within the eye, it's gonna make it look like she's looking up. That's a play of light and dark. That's giving that illusion. It's dark up here in her eyes. There's darkness up here. And his eyes actually out of shape a little bit. Let's make this a little bit wider. Okay. So immediately I see that the chin way too high. I'm gonna bring it down. Just do like this. Erase some of that. Chin starts right here, right about here. All right. There's a crease right underneath. We're building in detail now, right? So now I'm gonna start adding small stuff, right? So still using compressed charcoal. But we have this line, this crease in here that I'm gonna draw. The crease of the chin from the bottom lip, right? Crease this circle right underneath here. You want to make sure you get that in there. That shows the heaviness of the lip, right? Right under there. Get that in there. Not like this. Boom. Just like that. That's perfect. Right? So that's what I'm about to go around and do throughout her whole face. Drawing all these little small creases and crevices of her face that her face has. And we're gonna also start curving these lines that we made with these hard lines, right? Start curving them. The lip, start curving it. If there's a curve in the picture, draw that curve. The nose has a little curve. We did the eyes. This really was just the lips mainly. Okay. So how far is this line, the crease from her bottom lip? How far is that before it hits the end of her face? Not far at all. All right, so that lets me know that that's how wide her face is before it hits that crease that's coming out. And this is all dark right here. Dark, 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 dark. Light, dark, dark, dark. Dark, light, light. Dark, light, light. You could smear it a little bit if that helps. That helps. Is that MJ and then Wizard of Oz? No. All right. So we just put some shadow in there. The shadow will uh help you start to see what you're working with. Sometimes even adding the background helps. So you won't have to work on just pure white paper. Nothing in nature is true white. So you don't need that. And if this helps, do it. You don't want to work on a white background like that. All right. You're good. Thank you. So, next, moving on. I'm gonna smear that out of there a little bit. We don't need that. There's some shadow up in here. Light shadow, not too dark, but it's shadow there. Shadow. There's shadow here. Let's go in and mark all the shadows that we see. The more vivid shadows, the darker shadows. The dark and medium ones are the ones we're gonna mark. So that shadow here that comes around her cheek, that gives it that fullness, the childlike part of it, right up in here. There's shadow all up in here. It's like crinkled up shadow. It's not as vivid, but it's there. There's shadow off the eyebrow that comes off here, just like that. There's shadow above the eye. There's shadow coming in from this eyebrow that shoots down, that curves right up in here, right? It curves and then it comes out just like that. There's shadow around the nose, right up in here. It almost touches this shadow, the one we just made, but not completely. There's a dash of white between that. This shadow kind of comes out lightly and blends into this shadow down here. This is dark, dark, dark. There's shadow on the chin, light and dark, just like that. There's shadow above this lip, just really light shadow. There's shadow on the lips. Give it some definition. These lips are actually a little bit more bigger. They're not drawing them out, right? So we'll work on that a little later. There's shadow up in here. Not too much, but it's there. Right? And there's shadow that comes up like right here. There's shadow on this side. Shadow, shadow. We got this ear. The ear comes right below the nose. Usually they're lined up. It comes down about half an inch. So I'm gonna look at the nose line. I'm come down half an inch, and that's where the nose starts. I mean the ear starts. Draw the shape of the ear. There's a circle. There's a line. There's another circle. Just like that. The ears are always the same level, unless it's at an angle up and down. So come all the way across from this ear, all the way across, and that's where your other ear is. Draw a circle. It's coming in like that. Boom. I'm going to show you guys that. Everything I just did. What times are you usually live? Today is the more spontaneous live. I'm usually live Saturday and Sunday. Sundays for sure at 10 a.m. And that's where I draw these portraits. Where I draw figures and stuff. But if you guys would like more tutorial lives and stuff, just let me know. So everything I just did, right? Because I know it's sometimes hard for you guys to see on while I'm doing it that way. So for one, the nose is right here, right? Let's make this line weight a little bit thicker so you guys can see. Nope, I need it thicker than that. Much thicker. Okay, whatever, that works. All right, we have the base of the nose line, right? If you mark that all the way out, look at the ear, it comes down half an inch. So mark that and come all the way across, and that's where your other ear should line up perfectly. Just like that. And then we have all the shadows I showed you guys. I don't want it to be too complicated for you guys. I want to show you guys the easiest way to approach these portraits without straining yourself to 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 see something. Okay, so across from this eye, we have our hair. The eye, the side of our head starts here. The hair starts right here. It's up, comes out. Now we can start shaping her hair more. Yeah. Start shaping in the hair more. It's up, up, up. Get some character in there. Get some character. Down. Comes out this way. Comes in. Boom. What's that? No one specific. It's just uh tutorials. So it's just a study. It's just a study, guys. Let's blend some of these shadows right now. Don't overblend. Don't want to overblend. Don't overblend. Right here. Shadow. Round cheeks. Round cheeks. All right. Easy. Outside the lip, from the corner of the lip, an inch out is where the neckline starts. So I'm gonna come out an inch. Neckline starts there. There's a dark shadow here. Comes out that way. Right? On this side, about an inch and a half. That comes out an inch. And actually, this is off. This proportion's off because her cheek actually comes out wider on this side. So it comes out in the curves like that. That's the reason why we see more of this ear than this one, because she is at an angle, right? Like that. And then we can get that shadow in there. Shadow, 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 up, shadow, shadow. Really dark under her lips because all this shadow in the sky shows light is coming from this angle, right? That's why we have a little white right here in the hair. That's where the light's coming in at. Just touching a little bit of that. That's why we have shadow, cast shadow on the back of her nose, on the side of her nose. All right, we could smoothen this out too. We don't need that to be so present. Just like that. Thank you, Rose. Art Ross 20. Thank you. So next, come out about 2 inches right before the curve actually becomes visible. Come down at a slight slant like that. There, this is all dark. This is so dark that it actually blends in with the cheek and jawline. Right? Studies, studies, studies. They're studies. Next, let's just get some, let's fill in with our hands right up in here. There's some shadow that comes in right here. Like that. Right? There's some shadow that comes from underneath her eye. You can only do so much when you're working with one tone of charcoal, so you have to get uh, your pressure a little bit lighter to get a different tone with this. If you're laying down so many tones already, it's gonna be hard to find a new tone to work with. Eyes are never pitch white. All right, let's make her lips a little bit wider. This bottom lip is definitely much wider. So let's make sure we implement that. Just like that. She looks like she's in trouble, right? Have these folds underneath her eye. So since it's dark on this side, since the light, we're gonna add in our own little play, right? Its light is here. That will only lead me to believe that there's dark on this side. On the picture, there's no dark. The background is all one color, is all one tone. But we can add some more dynamics to it by doing that. Add our own little darkness to it to bring her forward more, right? Let it touch. So, Richard. Yes. So that's about it on proportion. I'm gonna actually I can. Oh yeah, that's about it when it comes down to showing you guys some easy tips and tricks to build proportions. Now, obviously, you can bring this to life a little bit more with other tones and other colors. You can show you guys something really quick just by adding black and a darker a much darker tone, you can bring it forward much more. So this would be the next step in your phase. Like, I didn't think do charcoal. Way too messy and unorganized. We'll run them so fast. Yeah, they definitely are the messiest medium. But once you learn to love it, man, it becomes something that's hard to just put down. I love the messiness of it. It makes me feel more connected to it. Getting my hands dirty and stuff. So yeah, just adding a little bit of contrast to it, just black alone changes everything. Now when you add white to it, it brings it even more to life. So all these other portraits, they have black, white, and gray, three tones of gray. dark gray, light gray, and medium, along with different shades of black. But when you just work with black and white, you can still do magnificent things with it. All right, you can get some white in the eyes, some life. That's the life right there. Get the life in the eyes, like that. Get the shine on the nose, the shine on the lips, under chin. Scribble lightly if you want light white. Scribble harder if you want the darker. All right, get a mix of gray in there without actually pulling out your gray. Right there. Where do you see the brightest white set? Put that there. Wherever you see the brightest lights. Wherever the brightest whites are, put that there. If you gotta squint to find the brightest whites, do that. Where do those whites live? Find those bright lights. All right, just black and white alone. Do you have in your portfolio? I do not. Always keep the original silver copies. Thank you guys. This is just with black and white, no gray. Black and white is making gray with some of these tones when I smear, but overall, there's no, I'm not physically using a gray in here. You don't need different tones. All you need is to be able to see it. You can see these tones, that's all you need. Nothing else. Get the expression. Everything that you need. Just need to be able to see it. But if you can't see it, you're gonna be lost. This is still black. Actually, her cheek is actually in more. And look at that, you can still erase it. You don't need to worry about making mistakes when you're working with charcoal. You can easily erase it. Easily erase it. All right. Black and white, that's all. She has moles all over her face. All these dots. They're not really dark to where they look like they're raised, but they're there and they're present. Right? So you can add those there. Don't be so precise. They're there. Just like that. That's just done with black and white. When we start adding different tones, different grays, we can get stuff like the Basquiat and all these other ones we done. Watching from Toronto. Dope, dope, dope. What's up? From Texas. Thank you, Floyd Thompson. So if you guys enjoyed this little tutorial walkthrough, tips, or whatever you want to call it, I would definitely try this a little more often. This video, if you guys want to watch this over, will definitely be on my channel once it's done, uploaded. I was on him, drew him a lot. Dope, dope. Thank you guys. By the way, it turns out we capture not only the likeness, but we capture the expression more than anything. When we're doing these are expressive portraits. So when we're doing these, it's one thing you want to capture is the expression. The scared, the shock, the terrified look she has on her face is what we captured. And that's all that matters. All right. You can save. And the likeness is gonna come. If you capture everything else. The likeness is going to come if you capture the proportions right. Get the proportions down. You have nothing to worry about. After that, it's just shading and getting your shadows right. Don't overshadow. Don't you overshadow it. There's no need to do that. You could probably draw better with your hands, with your fingers. So do that. Do that. You get a much accurate picture with your hands. That's what art's all about. Get physical with it. Feel it. Excuse me. Here we go. Make it look like a lost in at the bottom. So I don't know where it starts, don't know where it begins. It just comes up like a little fade. We have this nice dark background on this side. We can make this side really light if we want to. Or we can do some play with the eraser, right? Add some like that. Get it through her hair like that. This is adding dynamic to it so it doesn't look like just a picture anymore. Looks like a picture with character to it. Has character to it. That's what you want. Don't be afraid to mess it up. Got some happy accents in there. Sorry. Your eraser is your best tool sometimes too, though. In the opposite direction, though, not for necessarily fixing your mistakes, but for adding things to your picture. Look at your eraser like a tool, not just an eraser that fixes things. We can add a border out here, just like that. That's nice. We'll still sign it even though it's a study, because why not? So like I was telling you guys, contrast plays the biggest part too. Depends on the style you're going for, of course. Contrast be your biggest tool. Contrast is the value, right, between dark and light. What's time there, bro? 7:25. Contrast. Don't be afraid to go dark. Go dark. Get dark. This isn't dark. This isn't dark enough. There's two. So you can have your two tones, but when it starts to correlate with everything else in here, it looks flat. It looks flat. You need that contrast. This is a think of it like a white, a washed white, or a what is it? Or a faded black. You know, it's not saturated enough. It's not enough darkness in there, and it loses itself. It loses it all. Even with your grays, you still got to get dark. Don't be afraid to go dark. We got pitch black in his hair, pitch black in these hands, pitch black in these dark shadows. Up here, we got a little, it's more of a light gray. This whole picture's light gray, no saturation. Not even the eyeballs themselves, and that most times is dark, it's black. It's not. And this is, check this out. It's actually, the lip line is the darkest thing in this whole picture. When usually the nostrils would be, the people, the eyes would be. This shadow up in here definitely would be. The hair overall would definitely be black. But the only thing I put dark was only the lips. The crest, the crease in between the lips. Not even the chin shadow is dark enough. Contrast. Then you can go too dark. Forget about your whites. Well, this is a different style. This is actually a good one because it actually is just strictly black and white. There's no midtones in this one, and that's what brings the face forward. That's actually a nice one. But overall, you know, have fun with it. There's no right or wrong way to do it. What's the color charcoal for the Basquiat? What is the color for the Basquiat one? It was dark gray, light gray, medium gray, 2B, 4B, 6B of compressed charcoal. And I can show you that. So 6 is the darkest one, which is what I was just doing with this one, with this picture. It's your darkest black, right? It's gonna give you that really rich tone. 4, to be honest, actually I did not use 4 or that Basquiat one. But 4 is your mid tone between black and white. I mean between dark and light. So obviously we don't need it. But your 2B is your lightest black. You go to scale, right? This is actually a 2B. This is 2. This is also 2. 2. This is 4. I don't know if you guys can even tell that well. It's 2. I think this is 6. It should be 6. It's not 6. It's 6. Yeah, this is 6. That's really dark. That's really dark. And you guys can't even see, it's so bright. Anyways, you guys, it's not rocket science. And as far as the grays we have light gray, medium gray, and one of these are dark gray. Yeah, and they are not chalk, they are pastels. Pastels. Does it grade like lead? BS to HS. No, it does not. It does not grade like lead. But it does get softer, like harder chalk. That doesn't smudge as much. Yeah, well, this chalk, if you're talking about the chalk over the charcoal, the compressed charcoal, yes, these are soft pastels, so these would be considered they don't really have a scale to them in terms of 2B, 4B, or 6B, but you can label it like that. Really, they're just values if you want to. Just values. I love your videos, therapy for my soul, for our soul. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad it's therapy. Art is the best form of therapy, in my opinion. But there's all different types of forms of therapy, right? And art isn't even this. Art is creativity in any form, whether it's cooking, sewing, uh, carving, drawing, singing, anything. All that's art. But it is therapy. It is definitely therapy. So yeah, if you guys, you guys can always come back to this video if you need some tips, if you're working on some charcoal portraits or just portraits in general. 5 tips again. Number one, break it down to shapes. Number two, um, get the proportions right. You don't need to do rocket science to get proportions. Just look at everything, how things align, right? You got the nose, the end of my lips right here. They line up right with my eyes, right? Right here. Take that into account when you when you're looking at your references. See the most things that you can line up perfectly in different axes, horizontal and vertical, right? Something's always true sometimes, but draw what you see, not what you know, right? So you can know these little things about proportions of the face, but don't always apply it because it doesn't always apply. For kids, the proportions are a little differently. For adults and older people, sometimes it lines up perfectly, right? The hairline to the eyebrow to the nose to the chin. Simple, right? For a kid, it may be a little different. The forehead may be a little bit bigger, right? Depending on how young they are. The nose may be a little bit closer up to the tear ducts, right? The ears, for me, are lined up right with my nose. The ears for her are lined up below her nose. It might be the angle she's at. Might be the angle she's at, but yes. These are seeing measurements. Yes. Third tip, break things down to well, that was the second tip, but still break things down to shapes. Your whole time you're drawing your portraits, you're breaking things down to shapes. Don't look at the subject you're drawing too much. Look at what's around it. Try to occupy the space around it. You know too much about a human's face. You look at humans every day. So you're gonna try to draw what you know. Don't do that. Right? Instead, draw what you don't know. It's easier, ironically. Right? You see a box or something, you're gonna draw that. Instead, draw what's around it, fill in the space around it. And you can achieve that better. Way better. If curves throw you off too much, use lines. Right? We drew a circle with just lines. Don't overcomplicate it. After you draw your lines, then you can curve it, right? But for now, draw those curves. Draw those lines. Those lines will help you carve it. And then look, you have a circle. Have your circle, right? Simple. That's with anything in life. Curve it, right? You don't need to curve it. Over, boom, boom. Break it down, break it down. There's nothing more to it. Break it down. Next, contrast. Get your darks in. Do not over, get your darks in, but do not over blend. Blending is different from adding in darks. All right. Your darks is going to be your hair, the creases in the eyelids, the darks in underneath the chin, in her case, the dark in between the lips. Do you have Instagram? You got Lil Peep one. I have not done Lil Peep yet. And my Instagram is in the description of my channel, but it's also, I could just put it here. It's third.arts, right? That's the fourth tip. Do not over blend. You don't have to do that. And the fifth tip is have fun. Enjoy it, take a step back, come back, work on it every now and then. Take your time. It's not a race. It's not a race. Add things to your pictorial memory. Look at other people's drawings. Look at other portrait artists. Look at other artists in general. Look at Picasso's work, all his portrait work, his not the most known work, but the work that's not known of his studies. Look at his studies. I just followed you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the follow, man. I'll go on Instagram later and check it out. Check out his studies. Check out who else? I always refer to Francis Bacon. He's amazing. His artwork is amazing. It's abstract, so you won't find a face in there, but it's dope. And you add these things to your pictorial memory, and eventually you can draw your own faces. And you will learn how to um, approach drawing faces. You're using your right side of your brain, right? When you're drawing, you're not using your left side. Some people use their left side when they draw, and that's why it may make it so hard. Why they give up a little easier. It's because they're using the left side of the brain, which is more logic, more analytical, right? So they're trying to figure it out, right? Don't do that. Don't do that. I have that book. Though do a lot of what you call it? Studying too. A lot of studying on every art subject, not just portraits. Surrealism, cubism, abstract, all these things are really fun. Dive into all of it. But all right, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. Maybe another time I get on here, do some more tutorials and stuff like that. See you guys later.